Hello everyone, this is Chaos Creations. It's about 1 p.m. on a nice sunny day here in Perth, Western Australia. I'll briefly talk about Legions Imperialis and I'll go from there. First of all, there are some photos on the interweb at the moment of some Imperial fists for Legions Imperialis and a couple of buildings. They look very nice. They're floating around the web. Try Reddit, try Facebook, the usual haunts. You'll find the photos pretty easy. I'm not going to get on the hype train until I see something definite with a price tag. I just can't. I can't do it to myself. I'm just milling about. It's going to come out. I know it's going to come out. I think it's going to be Christmas, but in the meantime, I'm just going to focus on other things so I don't get burnt out. So I have been doing some testing for Tomb Kings. First of all, thank you everyone that gave me input. It was very interesting. I was looking at different ideas and so forth. And then a friend of mine said, don't you have those god-awful trees with skulls in them from Warcry? And I'm like, son of a bitch, that's perfect. It's got skulls, Tomb Kings, big dead tree, desert, win-win, really. And also someone mentioned some sand dunes, so I'm going to do some nice sand dunes. I'm going to be old school with some foam and some flock on it and so forth. Be able to flip them out on the board and such. Also, the fact is the skeleton mounds. Now, I did 3D print some of these, which are just like skeletal remains and so forth. I forgot that I had the files. These were from Printable Scenery. And I did the old trick of, painting it black, popping down a white, and then putting down the skeletal contrast, skeletal horde on top. And it gets that beautiful sort of brownie effect that I like. But this time around, I wanted to get like the box art, like, that sort of, where are we? Here we are. That sort of brown, sort of, it's, still half alive. It's got flesh on it, this sort of browny sort of look. So I decided to up the ante and try experiments. Now, I made a few of these, and I found the fact that I got that brown quite well with these. Now, as always, like any mad scientist, you always, once you get a thing you like, you do it a couple of times to make sure it is the desired effect and you haven't fluked it. So I did one in a very light white with it, and that didn't work out very well. And I've done one here with it, and that turned out perfect. And once again, because, I'm a glutton for punishment, I did it again. And that's that beautiful sort of brown. It looks like it's got a little bit of meat on the bone, not much, but it's still, sort of stuck there. And that's the effect I'm looking for. Now, I did the same thing, but I applied one other thing. So it's black undercoat, a reasonably high dry brush of white on the top, much like that sort of thing. It's quite heavy. And then I put on some good old-fashioned Kislev flesh. And this was not particularly heavy Kislev flesh. It's just a very light dry brush over most of the ridges and so forth. And then I got that beautiful sort of like mottled flesh brown look. So I'll just say it again. So it's black undercoat, white, and then the Kislev flesh on top. And that's where you get that beautiful brown look. If you're not looking for that, and you are just looking for that sort of darkish brown look, I've used this on my undead many, many times, and it's come up beautifully. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a couple of skeletons, pop them on bases, and paint them all up and see how they look as a final product. I have put the Abshanti together. They were difficult to do. Like I said, I think these were knockoffs. I paid full price for them, but anyway, I'll put them on some 40 by 40 bases and have some fun with them as well. And, I'm going to paint them up in some beautiful colors, very vibrant blues. I bought this the other night. This is a contrast Croxicore scales, beautiful aquatic sort of color, very, very nice and vibrant, and a couple of contrast reds. So I'm just going to have some very beautiful colors and some very bland looking skin. And I want to be able to speed paint as well, because undead, as you know, come in huge swarms, like, 100 to a base, which is interesting because I'm going to have to redo a whole lot of the movement trays and so forth to fit 100. And there's new movement rules. People are like going, oh, no, this is terrible. Oh, I think it's fantastic. It doesn't work for undead because undead could never march. But for other people, it just means they can move around the board a lot quicker. This is a win, people. This is awesome. Speeds up the game a little bit more. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to clear this table. I'm going to pop down some undead, put them together, glue them up, and we will go from there. And hopefully in a day or so I can show them off to you. This is Chaos signing off. Bye-bye.